Erdogan launches new tirade against U.S. as relations with Turkey sour. Istanbul, Turkey. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has launched a new tirade against the U.S., criticizing its support for Kurdish fighters in Syria, and accusing the country of sheltering a terrorist. In a scathing address to regional governors in Ankara, Erdogan accused the U.S. of sacrificing its years-old relationship with Turkey. The speech appeared to dash hopes for a speedy end to the dispute between the two countries, which have been at loggerheads since the arrest of a U.S. consular staff member just over a week ago. Metin Topuz, a Turkish national who works for the U.S. consulate in Istanbul, is the second U.S. mission staff member in Turkey to be detained this year. Both sides have frozen many visa services in each other's countries, and Erdogan said he would no longer recognize the authority of U.S. Ambassador John Bass, whom he blames for the breakdown in relations. The decision of the U.S. Embassy and the statements that followed are neither fair nor truthful, Erdogan said in the capital, Ankara, on Thursday. He slammed Washington for giving weapons for free to a terror organization, a reference to the Kurdish YPG, a key U.S. ally in the fight against ISIS in Syria. He claimed the U.S. had sent 3,500 trucks of weapons into Syria, including heavy arms, saying they were being used by the YPG to encircle us from the south. Ankara is worried that the Kurds may make territorial gains near the Turkish border, if ISIS is finally flushed out of the area. Gülen, Erdogan's adversary. The relationship between the U.S. and Turkey has been on a downward spiral since a failed coup in 2016. Erdogan and his government blame Muslim cleric Fethullah Gülen for orchestrating the coup attempt, and have repeatedly pushed Washington to extradite him from the U.S. Turkey accuses Topuz, the arrested consular employee, of having ties to the Gülenist network, which Turkey considers a terrorist organization. The Istanbul chief prosecutor is seeking a third U.S. consular staff member for questioning, and has accused him of hiding in the U.S. consulate. On the one hand you are going to say I'm the native home of democracy, on the other hand you are going to shelter a terrorist, Erdogan said. It was not clear if he was referring to Gülen or the third consular employee. Bass denied any knowledge of a third employee being sought. Erdogan also touched on the sensitive issue of an American pastor, Andrew Brunson, who has been detained in Turkey for more than a year. He said that the pastor had obvious links to Gülenists. Erdogan even suggested 2 weeks ago that the two men could be swapped, raising concerns that Brunson may have been detained as a bargaining chip. Erdogan targets Obama officials. Erdogan also took a second shot at the U.S. ambassador, blaming him for the latest troubles. Honestly speaking, it is the ambassador here who instigated this incident. It is not acceptable that the USA is sacrificing its relations with its strategic partner Turkey for an irresponsible ambassador. We cannot accept this, he said. Bass complained this week that Turkey had given the U.S. no explanation as to why its consular staff members were detained. He also suggested Turkish officials were trying to purposely disrupt relations. Erdogan, who spoke of warmer relations with the U.S. when Donald Trump was elected president, seemed to throw that accusation back at the U.S., suggesting that officials left over from the Obama administration were trying to rattle the Turkey-U.S. relationship. Unfortunately, a clique from the past administration that is within the American government wants to bring down an axe on relations between Turkey and the current U.S. administration, he said. Sarah Sergani and Mohammed Tawfiq contributed to this report.